Types of mimicry in animals. Number 8. What is it? Mimicry in animals is the process by which one species of animal gains an advantage over another by mimicking its behavior or appearance. This can be done through camouflage, or by convincing predators or prey of its presence when it is not. It can also be used to avoid predators or to gain access to food sources. Through mimicry, animals are able to gain a competitive edge in a variety of ways, such as by confusing predators, gaining access to food sources, or avoiding detection. Mimicry also plays an important role in courtship, as certain species use mimicry to attract a mate. Common examples of mimicry in animals include Batesian mimicry, in which a harmless species mimics the warning coloration of a toxic species in order to gain protection. Müllerian mimicry, in which two or more toxic species share the same warning coloration. And aggressive mimicry, in which a predator mimics its prey in order to gain a competitive advantage. Number 7. Aggressive mimicry in predators. Aggressive mimicry in predators is when a weaker animal mimics a more powerful animal in order to gain an advantage when hunting or defending itself. This type of mimicry is common in animals such as snakes, spiders, and fish. For example, many species of snakes have evolved to mimic more dangerous species in order to scare off potential prey. Similarly, some spiders have evolved to mimic the sound of bees in order to attract other insects. Finally, some fish have evolved to mimic the appearance and behavior of more dangerous species in order to avoid being eaten by predators. Number 6. Aggressive mimicry in parasites. Aggressive mimicry in parasites is a type of mimicry in which a parasite takes on the appearance of something else in order to gain access to its host or prey. This type of mimicry involves the mimic having a form, color, or behavior that makes it appear to be the host or prey that the parasite is attempting to lure or attack. For example, some parasites have evolved to mimic the appearance of a host's mate, allowing them to sneak into the host's nest and increase their chances of obtaining a meal. Other parasites may disguise themselves as a harmless insect or plant, allowing them to go unnoticed as they search for sustenance. This type of mimicry can be used for many different purposes, from gaining access to a host to obtaining a meal. Number 5. Reproductive mimicry. Reproductive mimicry is a type of mimicry in which animals use deceptive signals to deceive potential predators or competitors. This type of mimicry typically involves one species copying the reproductive behavior of another species. This type of behavior is often seen among large predators such as lions, tigers, and wolves, who may pretend to be protective parents in order to ward off attackers. In other cases, smaller animals may mimic larger animals in order to exploit food resources or gain access to shelter that would otherwise be unavailable. Reproductive mimicry can also be seen among unrelated species, such as the mimicry of a female butterfly by a male moth in order to attract a mate. Number 4. Bakerian mimicry. Bakerian mimicry, also known as automimicry, is a type of mimicry where an organism resembles an unrelated species or structure in its environment that is unrelated to its own species. This type of mimicry is named after the biologist Edward Bakers, who first described it in his writings in 1878. This type of mimicry relies on the idea that predators may mistake the organism for something else, such as a rock, or even for an unrelated species which the predator may be more familiar with. Automimicry is different from other types of mimicry because no specific relationship exists between the mimic and its model. Instead, the mimic relies on the general similarity of its own form and color to objects in the environment in order to be mistaken for them. As a result, the mimic does not need to be closely related to its model, and can even resemble a structure that is inanimate. Automimicry has been observed in a variety of organisms, including moths, butterflies, and even crustaceans. Number 3. Pseudocopulation. Pseudocopulation is a form of mimicry in animals, particularly insects, in which a male is deceived into attempting to mate with a female of another species. This often occurs when the female of the other species has similar physical characteristics to the female of the male's own species. For example, some female species of butterflies mimic the appearance of male species of other butterfly species, attracting the males of the other species and then consuming them. Pseudocopulation also occurs in bee species, in which a female of one species mimics the physical characteristics of the female of another species, attracting male bees of the other species and leading them to copulate with her. Number 2. Intersexual mimicry. Intersexual mimicry is a type of mimicry in which one species of animals mimics the traits of another species of the same sex in order to gain an advantage in mating. For example, some species of male birds will mimic the appearance and behavior of females in order to attract mates. This type of mimicry can also be seen in some species of fish, insects, and reptiles. By mimicking the traits of another species of the same sex, the mimicking animal can gain access to mates that it would not otherwise be able to. This type of mimicry is an example of sexual selection, in which one organism is able to gain an advantage in the mating game by exploiting the traits of another. Number 1. Automimicry. Automimicry is a type of mimicry in which an animal mimics its own species. This evolutionary adaptation helps the animal to blend into its environment and appear to be part of the same species as the other animals around it, thus avoiding attacks from predators. Automimicry can be found in many species of moths, butterflies, frogs, and lizards. In some cases, the mimicry is so effective that the animal appears to be almost invisible. Automimicry is not to be confused with Bayesian mimicry, which is when animals mimic other species in order to deceive predators into thinking they are harmless. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video about types of mimicry in animals, be sure to check out the rest of our channel for more amazing curiosities from around the world. We hope you have a great day and we'll see you next time.